have a game. He's playing Alchemist. Remember, that's Alchemist with Empower, so you know the timing is going to be right. Magnus position 5, I'm a bit worried about it. You know, this is not the team secret. This is not OG that's running a position 5 Magnus, but so I'm a bit worried that it's also 1, 2, 3, 4 melee heroes into Invoker, Faceless Void, and Bloodseeker. I think if they don't shut down, if they don't go into the jungle from like 7-minute mark and try to take stacks from Alchemist. They have Lina. Lina is a very good hero at taking the stacks. Bloodseeker as well with the Bloodright. I think they need to make a lot of moves and try to shut down Alchemist as much as possible. Like, he's very vulnerable. But there's also Hogs, so you need to be using smokes to get past that vision. You know, I'm a bit worried for Viking in this match.
It's lovely hearing your kind of train of thought there, you know, going through all of the working parts of this game. You know, there's the big team fight contribution as well from Viking, right? The fact they've got the potential Chrono with Mortimer's Kisses, the Cataclysm, and the Bloodright all being thrown in there, while on HellRaisers, much more single target or pick-off oriented, at least on paper anyway, with Roar, Monkey King jumping across lanes, and like you said, every hero has some way to contribute a stun or something into a team fight, which we saw them do exceptionally well in Game 1. I think Funnick and Lil probably the standout players from Game 1 in their initiations, their stuns, and the ability to catch people. But we'll see. We'll see what Shad has up his sleeve. Maybe an early BKB this game might be in order.
Yeah, I think he needs to change things up. They have still 2 abilities that go through magic immunity. Even if he gets a BKB, there's a Roar, there's an RP. If they steal something else like a Rupture with the Rubik, I think Boom on a mid lane needs to dumpster this Alchemist. I also want to see some kind of rotations. How many runes did they get? It was 2 for 2 trades, so yeah, Alchemist getting some extra gold. So far, only 1 CS on the mid lane. Not the greatest.
Ooh. Up at top, the tri-lane from Viking doing a lot of damage into the Monkey King as Aramis and Celery both sticking around here, leaving Shad alone down bottom. They will TP Celery down there at long last. But that mid lane, yeah, I think you're right. The Boom needs to come out ahead. It's an extremely rare matchup in that mid between Alk and Invoker, as we saw on that little lower third pop-up earlier on. And so far, Quaswex Invoker. So not the Exort, which I was potentially expecting paired up with the Chronosphere.
Oh, he will get it eventually. I don't think he's gonna go like full Quaswex. At one point, he's gonna start getting excerpts. Like, he's getting harassed quite a lot. Has tangos only in the backpack, getting so that he has that extra damage, extra spell amp, mana regen, you name it.
Just casually standing in the acid spray earlier on as well. So far, pretty even between the 2 mids as we take a peek down bottom lane. Faceless Void, time walking away from that tier 1 as they have shoved the wave pretty far forward. And Celery even going to block the large camp. Feels like Funnick's having a great time down here though. Already well on his way to Necro 1. Double Sage's Mask, Quelling Blade so he can keep farming, and top of the CS board.
Funnick will have an extremely good game in this lane. He's playing with the Rubik, so minus damage. They have another stun, they have a slow, and I don't think they're gonna get contested by Snapfire and Faceless Void. Top lane, also offlaner, doing extremely well. It's not the, you know, a guaranteed stun when we see Bloodseeker being paired up with something like Rubik's or like Vindranger. I call Vindranger a reliable stun because you're playing in this off lane where there's a lot of trees, a lot of ways to shackle people, and then combine that with the Bloodright. But with Lina, it's I don't think it's that easy to execute.
You got to play that tree line much more delicately, hiding in the fog to land these stuns. And you're also against a Skewer, a Mischief, and ways to escape. Decent Bloodright there. Very good at securing creeps, but also chipping away and trading regen with your opponents.
Next gets the Observer Ward. It's tough to play position 5 Magnus where you don't have enough mana sustain, you have some regen problems. You're a melee hero that, you know, is trading hits against hero like Lina, so you know there's going to be a lot of right clicks. And Aramis, he might deal some damage if he lands a stun. That's a big if. We'll pretend we did not see that. So Mag will pop the healing salve and the clarity.
They're trying a monkey though.
Fairly low.
Mischief to try and get away from danger. Toby pretty speedy. But under this tier 1 tower, they are defending themselves. And it looks like Magnus going to walk away from the stun. Aramis running low on resources, but it's Toby the one that gets skewered around. And really here, Magnus's job is just defend the Monkey King, keep him safely farming as best he can.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, he needs to be using Courier constantly. And if they can kill his Courier, I think this top lane is done. He's actually going to die. That's
well, there's
the first blood.
yeah. He had to move away from that blood right. Very well placed by Toby. And he couldn't cut through the trees as the Magnus. So 1-0 as Viking lead.
So far,
Three
so
of
good
the top
for Viking.
4 farmers as well.
Yeah, mid lane doing extremely well. Alchemist already pressured out of the lane, was forced to TP out. The good kill on the top lane. Bottom lane, Faceless Void having same amount of CS as a Beastmaster at this point. I don't think they can kill Faceless Void on this bottom lane, but they can pressure him. They can't get a kill unless they get like level 6 on a Beastmaster faster than Faceless Void is 6. And now, Alchemist forced to already get inside the jungle. Good skewer and shockwave with the Monkey King. Who's gonna get the bounty? Toby.
Oh. There's also Bounty in battle down bottom. Lil taking a scatter blast to the back of the head. Celery just gonna get a little observer ward down. But 1-1 now as that nice little kill top lane does come to fruition for HellRaisers. Lina returns straight back to the top lane.
Boom. Cold snap just for Alchemist to miss 1 CS.
every delay on that Alchemist, it pays off in the long run. Because you were talking about potential contest of the stacks and trying to get into the Alchemist jungle. Oh, top lane, good skewer back. Aramis trapped under the tower. Great little play from HellRaisers. And with that tower damage, they will bring her down while Monkey King continues the battle with Toby. Doesn't have Boundless anymore, though, and the speedy Bloodseeker will just sprint away back to safety. But you were mentioning stacks, and with Magnus having to play the lane top, Rubik has to stick around bottom. There isn't really any moves into the jungle to build a bank for Alchemist. And
yeah,
we can even see Celery
be
here.
Any stacks. Celery just blocking the camp, trying to farm it potentially to get a kill on a mid lane. If Alchemist steps forward, he's still level 5, just 1 CS from level 6.
I'm trying to close in around him and make his map a little smaller, as Xani now does have a soul ring, so he can get into that chemical rage. But the pings are coming. They know process of elimination here. Viking have shoved the Alchemist into one area of the map that they know he has to be. And that's where Lina comes in handy with an observer ward now to keep that vision on him. Aramis stunning out the Magnus and just walking out. But now I guess that's a bit of a giveaway that Lina has placed a ward there.
Will he get the stack? No, Magnus tried to use the shockwave. At least Alchemist is farming with the Empower, and Aramis in the zone trying to, you know, steal any kind of XP, steal any kind of CS. Lil, nice sidestep dodge.
And a good little telekinesis there. Pops the fairy fire, doesn't get away. Still had a few stick charges, but opts to die instead. And now we've got the try versus try mid lane as both of the side lanes become 1v1s. Everyone vying for control around these mid tier 1 towers. But this is primarily coming back to your point about Viking needing access into the jungle areas, right? You take that mid tier 1, all of a sudden contesting Alchemist becomes 100% easier.
Vikings lineup is not very good at taking towers. They need to rotate a lot of heroes, get a kill, or they need to play with the catapults. Beastmaster is level 6. There's Necro 1 already there. Same goes for Faceless Void. Ulti is ready. So someone needs to make a rotation if they want to kill. I think one of the supports need to start getting some XP on the mid lane. You see Lil understanding that he can't approach from that side because trees are already gone. And then they're going to be using shockwaves and Fade Bolt to try to dodge this. Beastmaster's mid. That's a big kill if they can get it.
Good cookie. Boom. Trying to get him out of danger. Light Striker in the tornado, keeping Beastmaster at bay, and he gets the Ghost Walk off. Skewer in, but no reveal. So Boom is out of there, forcing massive rotation from HellRaisers, who do keep their tower alive for now, but that is a hefty amount of commitment.
They needed to get a kill there, and the Alchemist needed to like get a stack for himself and keep farming. The thing is, if your Magnus is being involved in team fights, and he's only position 5, that means your Alchemist is not gonna have Empower to farm with.
Yeah, that's why right now Magnus is next to the tier 2 mid lane. Hello, Empower. Give it to my Alchemist as Monkey King is now the one charged with holding onto mid. Tornado EMP. Raindrops are popping out for Nyx down to half health. And Viking come in for round 3. Still waiting for that second catapult wave, but continually forcing the pressure into mid lane and forcing the hand of HellRaisers. They are looking for the defensive chrono. Ooh. Ooh. Well,
bit of Kale.
Beastmaster is ruptured. Bloodright is about to land. But it looks like Faceless Void is already bailing on this.
Faceless Void out. There's no telekinesis. There's no Fate Bolt. 2 Fairy Fires on Beastmaster. I see 1, 2 boars. So yeah, I think he should be fine.
He should be all right. We'll see. They do have TPs potentially from any of... Grandma doesn't, but Invoker or Lina could swing bottom. But it feels like the main plan here for Viking is just to keep playing mid lane. Make sure HellRaisers are on edge and uncomfortable with where they are positioning to try and farm. Alchemist, Radiance, and BKB queued up. Still a pretty long road for him to kind of catch up to where he wants to be. So yeah, Beastmaster's fine. And TP Void up towards top to farm. Monkey King is tracking up there. Leaping across the canopy, bouncing from tree to tree.
Up on Monkey at one point, and now he switched to a BKB. Like, getting Aghanim Scepter when you have Alchemist in the team, like, eventually, if the games are going well...
Oh, the Chainstorm's not quite perfect, but it looks like they should still have this kill regardless. Empowered Monkey whacking away.
It's also Faceless Void's TP that it's on cooldown for 40 seconds, so he needs to walk into the jungle or walk back to the lane. It also gives Alchemist some extra time. Whenever you have Alchemist in the team, try to make something happen on the map.
Funnick is just going in here looking for the solo kill, but Boom will be able to hold him back. Good little EMP, but Ghost Walk required. Funnick is so strong with all the summons he's got, the Boar and the Necro units. Bloodright going to get dodged out. Funnick makes his hasty escape as the Cookie and the Scatterblast just about connecting into the back of Funnick. One more hit should do the job here, and that's it. Invoker grabs the kill as Necro units are still giving chase onto Toby.
That's a lot of commitment for getting that Beastmaster. That's one way to look at it. I mean, your Alchemist is farming. I still don't see any kind of stacks. Lil will try to stack 2 camps at once. Let's see if he manages to do so. There we go. So these are some big stacks. There's still tier 1 tower standing on a mid lane. They have some kind of a barricade that blocks the entrance to their own forest.
What a barricade of Magnus and Rubik. And they've got some pretty good observer wards up, the Dire team, to scout the entrances to the jungle. Like, they see Aramis, they know the Lina's coming. Radiant even scanning forward to see where the Alk is sitting.
The build on Monkey King, like, he can't afford to get Aghanim Scepter because, like, you're playing with the Alchemist and the team. And
Invoker. He's going to try and turn here with a Bloodright Rupture onto Magnus. TPing back home. He does have RP, but deciding now to stick around, cancels the TP. Rupture stolen.
I still feel like he should have tried to go back. He's sitting at half HP or playing against the Bloodseeker. Look at him zooming in. 460 move speed.
And the stacks.
Oh, this is a big item. Any kind of mana item that you can get on your position 5 Magnus, like a Maggo Tree or Arcane Ring, where you have constant mana sustain, and he has like Clarity and Infused Raindrops to keep stacking the jungle and empowering the heroes that they need to be empowered, and then also having enough mana to join a fight and try to use a Skewer and RP. Like, at one point, eventually, your mag is gonna get a Blink Dagger.
At one point, it'll come. Even dragging a creep wave for the Alchemist to farm it a little closer to his safe triangle. But we see here Boom sneaking around in Ghost Walk, looking for the Monkey and the Beastmaster, finding the tag with a cold snap and a tornado, but a good cancel there, stopping Aramis from landing any stuns. Unfortunately, Monkey King's already done. Now, Funnick's going to get chased down, hounded by the Bloodseeker with the Blood Right landing, the TP's there. Cookie on top of him, into the trees they go. And Viking, very well played.
I don't think we can call this move a space. They lost a carry Monkey King, they lost a core Beastmaster. Oof, I'm a bit worried how this game is developing for HellRaisers. This is not a greatest timing for Radiance. It's still gonna be like a 14-minute mark.
It does feel a little slow as we see the replay back. HellRaisers trying to play that bottom edge of the map, pressuring tier 2. But Viking catch them with the wraparound. And now straight from that bottom side in towards mid again. Viking want to continue applying this pressure as Magnus, considering the skewer, maybe an RP, the rupture there. Out from Rubik onto Boom. Earn used with the Chrono onto 3. In we come, but where's the damage? There's no kisses. It's just single target focus as Rubik, Lil will lose his life. Alchemist just going to pop the Chemical Rage. So Chrono for a position 4. Viking not getting a massive amount out of the team fight.
Oh, Alchemist, he has Trusty Shovel and has been blessed by Gabe and finds a rune for himself. Mag, yeah, Mag seems pretty dead to me. One more hit will do the trick.
Yeah, Mag is dragging them away from Alchemist. Kasani runs one way, Kick runs the other.
Radiant's top tower.
Full Spirit Vessel on Invoker, so your Alchemist is not going to be super efficient with that regeneration. Same goes for Monkey King. They're going to need any kind of dispel they can get. That's why Monkey is getting BKB as first item. And there's also a BKB queued up on Alchemist.
And they want to be able to deal with that Invoker.
Oh, they found Monkey.
They try onto the Monkey King. Magnus coming in. Shad grabs the Bounty Rune, and the Mortimer's Kiss is going to be landing short range now. Blood right after Ewells, but the skewer to the high ground keeps Kicked alive. And HellRaisers hold out for now on their high ground. Trying to ward and de-ward the same area as Funnick is that kind of loose man playing wide out up on top.
Man,
The rest of HellRaisers are all very tight together.
7-minute Necro 1, and there's no item progression. Like, he's gonna get Necro Book 2 at 15 minutes. He doesn't have to play with, that's the problem. Like, he needs just a bit of extra damage to get the kill on pretty much anyone. I don't think he can kill Faceless Void, considering the item build that he's going for. He has 2000 HP with Power Treads on Strength. And for the kind of same item build as in the previous game, at least the starting one, Power Treads, Hand of Midas, then getting Heaven's Halberd against the Mag.
Funnick, I think he felt it coming. He's going to try Roar, but the Cold Snap stopping him as he lifts his arms. And Celery on a killing spree. And I think to add to your point, you really do look at the net worth of Monkey and Beastmaster right now. Compare it to Alchemist, of course, who's been given a lot of space. But then the question, you know, in the next 4 or 5 minutes, was it worth it? Neglecting your Monkey King, making sure Beastmaster doesn't get that progression, as Alchemist needs a BKB and they're catching out mid lane. Nice little play there from Lil, but not enough to finish off the Lina. Shockwave misses and out goes Lil. Oh, Rupture into Skewer feels bad for Kicked. Boom is still going. Speedy Invoker.
This game falling apart for HellRaisers. They need those BKBs on Alchemist and on Monkey King, and then they need to start a fight. Magnus still struggling. Like, he's buying all these small items. He's not gonna get that Blink Dagger because they're not getting any kills. They're not getting towers, and he bought a Magic Stick, a Vindlace, full Tranquil Boots, sitting at only 50 gold. It's gonna be very hard for him to get a Blink Dagger in this game.
Yeah, he is a glorified Empower bot right now. Where are my cores? Who needs Empower? Come to me. Viking yet again on the aggressive. making that first step forward up to the high ground. But in comes the lift. Telekinesis to catch out the Snapfire, who cookies nearly onto the high ground. Well, that will be a finish onto Celery. And the rest of Viking backing away, trying to connect up with a Void.
Right now, HellRaisers, they need to get whatever they can. There's the first BKB we were talking about. Alchemist getting one pretty soon. Just needs to clear one camp, and then he's ready to take a fight.
And that should be a big swinging point for HellRaisers, as they are 4,000 net worth behind right now. 10-4, closing in on 20 minutes. And the perfect spot for Viking to play from, as they very nearly catch out the Beastmaster. This dire triangle area allows them to basically pincer movement both into mid-tier 2 and the bot lane. But they do miss out on potential Roche control, as HellRaisers have the opportunity to steal it, but not really the best heroes right now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The 5v5 mid lane. And the smoke from HR. Out they come. Leaping forward. Monkey King scouting, and they're trying to bait with this Alchemist on the front lines. You've been talking about it, the double BKB timing. It is HR's moment to shine.
This is it. They need to get stuff done. Like, they need to get a big kill. I don't think Lina is that kill. Also, they can't get Roche if they kill Lina, so they need a bigger kill. But they'll get what they can.
Well, they go for it. RMS is the only one showing. Viking had 3 heroes by their mid-tier 1, and Void was spread out off to that bottom lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom
It does
tower is under attack.
alleviate a little bit of that pressure. HellRaisers no longer 5-man defending a tier 2. Able to get out on the map and maybe make another play. We still need to see an RP from Magnus. You're talking about his Blink Dagger not going to be coming soon. But feel at some point he's got to press that button and cast his ultimate.
It will be very tough for him to actually get a good RP in this game.
Playing into EMP is a pain in the ass for him, for sure.
We'll take that. Time is money. Arcanery.
Like, EMP and Bloodright together on the same team. Even if you don't hit them, they're great zoning tools. Just that massive AoE you get from them.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant scan knows that there are people in their triangle. Magnus Monkey and then Beastmaster is nearby as that third link. So they want to try and smoke and clear this area out. Get rid of any Roshan wards that HellRaisers potentially placed. HR missing 2 heroes, Alchemist and Rubik still stuck around mid. Monkey now leaving to go farm out bottom lane. If HellRaisers can get out of here only losing a Magnus or even looks like losing nobody, that's a really nice move, as Lina potentially going to get jumped on here by a Rubik. Lift up and drag it back into the hungry Alchemist as you land the Light Strike Array and blow up Aramis. Finally taken out. Skewer RP. Always thinking about it. Magnus really wanted the 2-man there, but threads the needle. But holds on to the RP for now as the Rupture Bloodright. Oh my god, Magnus, you're so low. Careful, buddy. The kisses are coming.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Grandma smooches the Magnus and he's gone.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire are scanning. Radiant structures are fortified.
They do have Medallion on Celery. Minus armor from Little Shredder. So Roshan accelerated really nicely here. HellRaisers are maneuvering to contest. Roche half HP. So HR could get in here and start to kick things off, but a double damager in Void with the Alacrity. Hitting for about 300 now. Oh, yes. Ooh, quick little roar. Cookie out of the back. They get RMS away from danger, and Shad is in onto Funnick. Now, coming in, though, is the kill on Toby, as Kasani with HellRaisers securing Roshan. Deafening Blast is there, and Shad moves in, but the RP catches him. He doesn't get the chrono off. He does now, finally, but Nyx has picked up the Aegis already. Shad kicks off the Magnus, but Viking, this is not looking great for them. Monkey jumping back in again with the Primal Spring on the Shad. Cookie forward, DD on Shad. The Halbert's there, and the Void is out. Somehow escaping. Boom may not have the same luxury, though. Scouted out here, and Monkey can continue jumping forward, but HellRaisers don't want to give chase. They got the Roshan. They have Aegis in the hands of the Monkey King. And Viking. What a disaster in the pit, Lacoste. Well, Alchemist doesn't have BKB, so a little worrisome there as Shad comes in again. Poor little Magnus. Blown off the face of the map, but that's okay. It is the position 5, keeping the Alchemist alive. And making sure that Kasani now, with his BKB off cooldown, can continue to defend this mid-tier 2. Good advice from Lacoste. Swap out those neutral items. Viking. Oh, you're talking about round 7 on Magnus Death. This is like round 7 on the tier 2 mid attempt. The classic 5v5 mid lane. Funnick with Necro 3 now aiming for the Blink Dagger. As we're still yet to see the big wombo combo from Viking. We need that chrono with the kisses, with the Bloodright and the EMP. And so far, no real intention for the Aghanim Scepter from Boom. So he's not going to go for the big old Sunstrikes play into the chrono.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That should help.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of steroids pumped into him. He's going to need them. As Kasani now reaching 20,000 net worth. 7k ahead of the Void. As that Abyssal Blade is coming pretty quickly for your Alchemist now. HellRaisers looking to defend top tier 2. Start off with a Boundless Strike and a Telekinesis. A Light Strike Array holds Nyx back, but in comes Kasani. Pops the stun onto Void and the RP, but they don't have the finishing blow. Void Shad just going to walk away with the time walk out, and Toby's going to retreat off to the left as well. HellRaisers spending, what, 3 ultis for nothing? Oh, Monkey. Very aggressive. He does have Aegis, and I guess it was going to expire in a minute anyway. Laguna played. Okay, RMS really wanted him dead. Monkey's probably going to have to pop his BKB to escape from here, though, as Nyx still getting stuck up in the ice wall. Bloodright coming. Nyx turns to fight, and the backstab. Well, it's not going to come from Jar. It'll be the Faceless Void looking for any straggling targets. High ground ward removed. And yet again, this head-to-head. It's like a cold war between these two sides as they battle, they poke, they have proxy wars, but no one really committing for the proper big fight yet.
Dire are scanning.
What is that Dire scan on? Was that a Bloodseeker illusion? A sense of fear from HellRaisers. Now without Aegis. Monkey King with Aghanim Scepter now, though. From the end of the draft, it felt like potentially HellRaisers would be the one, or would be the ones kind of smoking and looking to play into Beastmaster, who has the vision, who has the Hawk, the ability to pick off targets. But so far it's just been trying to mitigate losses and keep Alchemist farming. When do we get to the point where Alchemist's farm kind of hits the wall and Void catches up?
Alchemist, he is pretty big. He is getting closer to full Abyssal Blade, getting closer to level 20. I mean, it's not that big of a deal when he hits 20, but I still feel, you know, getting into super late game, Invoker will have Exort maxed out, still not getting that, you know, Cataclysm build. So it's just building different kind of items. Spirit Vessel, going for Lincoln Sphere. I see Shiva's Guard being queued up, but your Faceless Void, he's a one-man army if you throw all these buffs on him.
And Funnick gonna get found. Boom and Aramis both here to blow him up. They're also going to get an RP in the back. There's another fight kicking off. Void's there with his BKB going, but Shad needs the help to retreat. And I think you might have to restart your VMix call. As a smoke from Viking. It's coming back in. So the cost is all good again. As Toby trying with that Yules into LSA, but the BKB from Nyx, as the chrono into the back from Shad. But the focus is coming now from Grandma. The beautiful Mortimer's Kisses with the Meteor, and they're both gone. Dire support's annihilated, and Alchemist, he's isolated. He's got to get out of there with a BKB. The Radiant's burning onto Toby, so he will get a retreating kill. As Xani, pretty much last man standing here, but for how long? Monkey King, what can he do to save the day? He leaps in with a roar from Funnick. They're finding Boom, the Invokers. He's doomed! Gone and removed from the game, as Funnick is going to get turned on now. Viking, with Shad claiming the bounty onto Funnick. They do find another frag. As HellRaisers frantically trying to defend their high ground and that triangle they're farming in.
Yeah, I mean, this type of a fight, HellRaiser, they're backing up. You know, it's not looking good for them. Monkey King, he deals a lot of damage with the Aghanim Scepter, and he has Dragon Scale on top of that, so it's a bit of chip damage, but still, if they can get the bigger kills like Invoker, and he has a Lincoln Sphere right now, so doesn't need to care about being lifted or being roared. They need to remove the Lincoln Sphere with one of those spells, and not sure which spell that's gonna be, you know, Alchemist with Unstable Concoction, or if there's Abyssal Blade. You do not want to waste Abyssal Blade on that. So Rubik Fate Bolt seems like the best idea.
That's really the only option they've got, it feels like. HellRaiser's very bold move into mid-tier 1. 5 alive here for Viking, but like you're saying, you know, chrono down for 60 means that Viking are going to be playing a little more passively until that's back up. Speaking of back up, Roshan's alive. HR smoking up north. Now heading west, trying to cut off Viking if they wanted to get out across the map. And I think with Funnick showing top lane here, Viking could fall into the trap.
Next Roche is up. That's Cheese and Aegis. Let's see how fast it goes down. Magnus also getting closer to his Blink Dagger, just 400 gold away. They're the ones controlling the vision with the book, with the hawk.
This is Aegis and Cheese.
Scout connects.
Sunstrike scouting. But Viking can't get there fast enough. They've got a away. Toby glimmered, but in comes Monkey King. He wants to play with the Invoker here. Boom trying to sprint out away, but the roar on Toby is what they connect on. And HellRaisers take the easy pickings. And this game really feels like it's shifted pretty heavily now as HellRaisers sweeping through with a massive amount of momentum. Like the winds are in their sails right now. They are definitely cruising.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Stolen Blood Rage from Rubik. That's gonna be some extra attack speed on Alchemist. There's AC. Also, I mean, the Beastmaster aura on top of that, like, Alchemist is gonna hit like a truck.
He is going to be an absolute beast. Who does he start giving Aghanim Scepters to? He's got Ags queued up. Give one to Rubik.
Monkey King already bought the one for himself.
Mag is like whatever, pos
like
5.
Yeah, Beastman. I guess you give it to Rubik.
Radiant's top tower is under
There's some really nice spells to steal. Anything you steal from,
everyone else is pretty old.
like Invoker,
average.
Snapfire is good. If you steal LSA from Lina, so you can just cycle those.
Radiant's middle tower.
Viking on the back foot.
Radiant structures
Boom.
are fortified.
Running around in Ghost Walk for the past 5 minutes as they catch the roar onto Shad. Faceless Void, they've got the chain stuns, not quite enough. Time Walk will get him a bit of distance. The chase is still on though. Time dilation to slow down HellRaisers now.
Tower is under attack.
Faceless Void wants to make the full retreat. Aramis though might just be found. Forced to cancel TP and Yule's the Beastmaster. As Shad playing this tree line, skirting around the edges of the battle. The chase onto Aramis, it finally will come to a conclusion. Nyx will take a pick onto Lina.
I thought they were gonna have enough. Monkey King did not use his Boundless to try to go on Void and just stun lock him. They have 5 stuns plus Abyssal Blade on Alchemist. They should have more than enough, even though he has some status resistance coming up from Heaven's Halberd and Titan Sliver. That's around like 30% status resistance. What does it say? 12%. That's not correct.
It says 29.6 for me. On Void?
Yeah. Nice bug.
Oh, Chrono, Shad, straight in onto Xani, but the RP! Oh, the jump from Kicked! He saved the Alchemist! Beautifully done, and in comes the stolen Chrono! Lil says good night to you, Viking! 2 easy picks there as a double kill for Nyx comes through, and Monkey King standing his ground inside the Wukong's command. Yule's up onto Alk. Halberded and stunned. He can pop the cheese, but decides not to.
There was no cheese.
And yet again, another fight that goes one way and then swings the other.
When even if he had the cheese, there was still Spirit Vessel on him, so he would not
Viking
get
out
much
across the
value
map.
out of that, and they already lost
Defending
that fight.
bottom lane, losing the tier 3,
Viking
yes.
expending some
Well, they want to
buybacks. So
Time is money.
So now it's Vikings' turn. 2 heroes dead for 20 and 50 seconds.
Dire's middle
Glyph
tower
to keep
is
the
under
tier 2
attack.
alive. I guess Monkey still has Aegis for another minute. But it doesn't feel like he'll be able to get too much done with
Dire's
that.
middle tower has fallen.
Monkey is actually dealing some sick damage right now with the Aghanim Scepter and the Monkey King bar. Imagine having your own King bar, like Garrett's King bar. I don't think it would be that efficient in game. Like, what does it do? What does it do? It deals 20 self damage per second, and that's it. Silences you.
I mean, that should be your one. You were muted for 5 minutes. The Costi. What was Fluke calling again? Gaza and Costi.
Costi.
Just have the Costi King bar. HellRaisers now all alive again. Trying to connect with their Monkey King top lane. Viking will have Chrono back in 40 seconds. And boom. Casual plate mail just being delivered out to him. And here come the angry hordes. Aegis does get reclaimed. At least 3 minutes now for Roshan to respawn. The pings are coming out onto Shad. Faceless Void was the only one from Viking showing out on the map.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Lacoste, what needs to happen here for HellRaisers to break the base?
I mean, they know there's 2 buybacks
Have I lost
to cool down,
Lacoste?
so they're... No, I'm here. So they're gonna use this info that they have no buybacks on 2 heroes and try to get at least one of those. Mag finally, with the Blink Dagger, managed to find a good RP. Now even has a Flicker. And I love what he's using. Like, he's cycling all of his neutral items. I'm going to use this Philosopher's Stone. I'm going to use Trusty Shovel. Try to get 1 rune for Alchemist. He gets some extra gold, and for his team.
Oh, and a Minotaur Horn now dropping for the Monkey King.
That's a big one.
Double BKB. And they immediately smoke. Viking were also kind of lurking around smoked, waiting on the fringe of this bottom jungle. 13,000 net worth lead for HellRaisers, though, you know, indicated with the Blink Necro 3 on Funnick, that jump initiation strength from him. Blink, Glimmer, Ether Lens on Lil's Rubik. Tons of money on your position 4 there for HellRaisers. Lina does have an Aghanims as that counterpart on Viking. Going for Refresher Orb next.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And there's no blade mails or anything here for HellRaisers. Oh, that's an illusion. The Toby Illusionist Cave going to get jumped up by Kasani. They've caught out the Alchemist on the high ground now. He's going to get stunned up and slowed on his retreat out. Flicker not working out for him. Another Laguna Blade blasting him. In comes the Chrono and Kasani's done. HellRaisers getting baited by Toby, overplaying their hand, and Shaddy is thirsty for more. He wants to kill Lil. Where is it? Rubik, come here, buddy. Funnick's going to spider legs away, as in the back we do have Magnus with the Monkey King playing onto Boom, but Nyx is left here stranded. He'll eat the cheese and fight into Shad, but where's his team? Team! Where have you gone? Magnus ran away with no RP.
Oh, we've all been there. There's one to actually back him up. Everyone just bailed. Alchemist needs to be more careful, and this is something that a lot of the top tiers teams are actually doing, baiting with that illusion escape, especially if you have like Shadow Demon in the team. You create illusion of the hero that you know they want to go for, especially the heroes that they don't have buyback on.
Well, now Monkey gone for 60 seconds. Opportunity for Viking. They still don't feel comfortable enough to actually go high ground, so it's going to be maintaining these lanes, trying to shove out top, get into that dire jungle, grab the outpost, which is really why here Funnick is in such a great spot to not only clear out bot wave, but also maybe catch out Celery. The Grandma does have the backup of Invoker, who's going to tornado forward onto the little summons from Funnick. Slow down the Grandma. Snap fire. LP on 2. That's a good play, and on to Boom they go. The damage looks good, but they need a little bit more help. The Boar, he's going to come and slow Invoker down, and Funnick will blink forward to get that closing little bit of damage that they need, but Boom is surviving. The Quas is healing him up, and in comes the Void and the Bloodseeker. Magnus now down as the chase onto Lil's Rubik. They've saved the Invoker, and they'll get 2 bonus kills on top of it.
They need to bring like 1 damage dealer to a team fight, either a Monkey King or Alchemist, otherwise they don't have enough damage. And look at the gold difference right now.
Non-existent. That's where the gold difference has gone. Viking still trying to figure how to get across that river and do something with the little team fight victories that they're getting from time to time.
Bloodseeker is actually so tanky in this item build. He has a save for himself with the Yule Scepter, has a full Crimson Guard and a mech.
Here's one tanky boy, the Aura Bot. Running around and saving everybody. Viking 5 men strong. They can get immediate pickoffs here just with the Lina getting a catch on Magnus. Not even going to use Laguna Blade. I think RMS cancelled animation there, realizing Magnus was already dead. Oh, a DD top. Roshan is alive.
It's looking all Viking at the moment. Like, even though it's a 7k gold lead for HellRaisers, when you have Alchemist in your team 42 minutes in, it doesn't really matter that much. Roche, Cheese Aegis, and Refresher Shard. With Faceless Void in the team and Invoker, that's a dope one.
That's an easy Roshan.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant scanning for where Funnick's been hiding. He's a little further north. 4,000 gold saved up on Funnick. And it seems like, Lacoste, we're not the only ones with a few little lags. The players have got them as well. Something wrong with the internet today.
Yeah. Everyone's just staying at home, you know, using all the bandwidth. So Faceless Void, level 26. That means that he has 20% backtrack, Aegis, Refresher. How do you kill this guy? Like, they only managed to bring him only once throughout this whole game.
Feels much stronger than the previous game, right? I guess skipping AC and slotting in that BKB has helped him tremendously in these team fights to only have one death in this match. Who did Alk give Aghanims to? I just noticed his net worth dropped from like 32,000 to about 29. So Rubik does have that, you're right.
Monkey King already has one for himself. Getting Beastmaster one, it's not the best one. Wild Axes with no cooldown. You know, I don't think that's a good Aghanims upgrade for a Beastmaster. Magnus, it's your position 5 Magnus, so you don't get much value from the Skewer.
Especially, yeah, position 5 Magnus with a Skewer. He's not going to be doing much with that mana pool of his being pretty tragic already. Boom has been consistently just hunting with his Ghost Walk, looking for anyone hiding in the trees, as they do want to shift top for that tier 2, and they can still potentially play into both top and middle if they're feeling bold enough. Have you felt much impact from Monkey King this game? Always seems like a hero that is like very hit or miss. Like he's all in destroying, or he's just being annihilated himself.
It's a safe lane Monkey King with Empower. You know, you have... I think the laning stage didn't go well for them. You have Magnus as your position 5. You have Alchemist in your team. So this hero wants to be in jungle. I don't necessarily think Monkey King is a bad hero. Wouldn't really rate him that he's a top tier. But, you know, in this type of situation, I would call this a very tough Monkey King game.
A lot on his plate. Needs to keep backing up that Alchemist as well. But at the very least, HellRaisers have some exceptional forms of split pushing. Both Funnick and Nyx are able to play these side lane tree lines with relative safety. And something that we didn't really talk about much in the draft is the fact that HellRaisers do have a number of vision heroes and the ability to kind of leap from lane to lane and play much more of a macro game if need be. Whereas Viking, it feels like they're very, a tight-knit group. They want to get the combos, they want to team fight together as 5. But they have been able to utilize Boom's Invoker with the Aramis Lina, especially that pairing, which are up top right now. And able to get some kills off it. 24 levels on your position 4 Lina. She's got like 14,000 net worth. Aramis having a cracking game here in this best of 3 game 2.
We have some heroes approaching level 25. Invoker level 3 at the moment. We already mentioned that Void hit his. They have no abilities that can break him. That's one way to deal with the backtrack. Monkey King is level 25, so additional Wukong's command ring talent. Pretty standard stuff. Alchemist getting closer to his 25.
Which one do you take? Regeneration? Even into the Spirit Vessel? 50 movement speed doesn't seem that amazing.
And yeah, with the Flicker, you have way of dispelling that Spirit Vessel, so I guess you just take Legion.
True, true. Clever Lacoste. Oh, monkey illusions need to be handled here. They're pretty tanky. Boom, Aramis, and Celery all having to deal with it. And things slow down a touch as HellRaisers smoke down to the southern portion of the map. Knowing that with Void having Aegis for 3.5 minutes and they've, you know, got cheese and everything else here, it's a difficult fight just to wait for Viking to come to you. They're going to find Shad. He's going to time walk. He gets a haste rune. HellRaisers were so close to seeing that Void.
Because of the pause, you know, we still have 3 minutes left on the Aegis. Feels like Aegis Spire by now, but it's actually not gonna. So they're gonna go on high ground. They feel very confident. There's still a refresher on Faceless Void. Cheese being held by Snapfire.
HellRaisers are faster. They already brought that tier 3 bottom down. So they're going to force Viking back to defend. Rubik mid might get jumped by Shad. Looks like nah. Jumps away. A very nice little play from HR. Making sure Viking back away from the top take and doing a little bit of chip damage to bottom barracks, even though it will regenerate as the melee barracks does. And finally, Monkey King will decide to come back and defend. And HR do still have that Hawk over in the base, scouting anyone who wants to clear that bottom wave.
For the twins.
Radiant right now playing with pretty limited vision. One deep obs ward in that top jungle. That's why they come in now, try and...
Maintaining vision against the Beastmaster with the Hawk, so he sees you where you're placing the obs, getting rid of the vision with the Necro units. A Necro units and 2 catapults pushing the wave in on the bottom. Lina addressing that issue. She's the one holding onto the refresher with Aghanim Scepter. She can pretty much blow anyone up. It's a pure damage. It's exactly 1,000 pure damage. 999.
Yeah, 999.00. That is an aesthetically pleasing number on the Lina.
Time is money.
So no one from Viking really showing bottom lane, just illusions and spam from Bloodseeker. Keep that wave shoved out. Bloodseeker doesn't have a way to rejoin his team. So the 4 heroes shoving mid from Viking and, well, Shad straight up onto high ground with a time walk. They pop the Lincolns in the back, though, and get the Roar down. Cookie back and the Glimmer Cape there, and Boom is safe and sound. While Funnick might not have the same luxury of surviving, though. Laguna bladed and hit into the ground by the bashes of Void. HellRaisers lose their offlaner. He does have buyback, though.
There's no point to use a buyback. You already used the Roar. Book is on cooldown. You're not getting too much value out of your buyback on a Beastmaster with the cooldowns. Look at this attack
30
speed.
seconds. Yeah, Void is hitting hard, but he doesn't have long on this Aegis. 20 seconds remain. Void wants, finishing off a barracks mid, moving up to top, clearing out tier 3. A Blink RP here, though, could be big if Magnus is able to land it onto multiple heroes. Even with the repair kit, though, that Void structurally crippling this Thire base. And still holding on to Chrono. Aegis reclaimed now.
A Lincoln Sphere on Bloodseeker, so they can use 2 Lincoln Spheres on a target, plus a Solar Crest, Alacrity, Blood Rage. I don't think you have enough to bring this Faceless Void down. You only managed to kill him once throughout the whole game. I see Scotty being queued up, so that's gonna be some extra stats, extra survivability on him. At one point, he gets Aghanim Scepter, goes in, bashes you with every single time walk. It's looking very rough for HellRaisers.
Multiple heroes they just can't touch. Unkillable Viking heroes. 3,000 gold saved up on Celery's Grandma too. Full staff queued. Would love to see an Aghanim Scepter come out for her again, though. Still in this perpetual struggle of bottom lane shoving in, though. Viking can't really capitalize on these nice plays they're making. It might
when you have,
be.
Yeah. Alchemist.
Go on, Lacoste.
When he's in your team, you know you have like late game secured. Everyone's gonna get Ags upgrades, but not in this game. Like, I don't see them scaling with those items. Monkey already used his own goal to get the Ag items. Beastmaster is not really the hero that's gonna benefit from it. Rubik, yeah, he's fine, but you know, Mag position 5 also does not benefit from it either. Don't get me wrong, having Aghanim Scepter is much better than not having it, but I don't think it's worth it to spend 4,000 gold on the hero just to get your position 5 Mag and Ags.
Yeah, it feels like at this point, honestly, both teams kind of waiting for their next Roshan to come around. 1 minute for fast spawn. At the very least, Viking did get that ranged barracks mid, so tipping the scales in their favor ever so slightly in map equilibrium. All it takes, though, is one good jump from Funnick to find that perfect catch onto the perfect hero, if it is that Faceless Void. A lot of wombo combo potential from both teams. So it starts to come down to this vision. Who has the upper hand in terms of information? Dire pretty focused with vision down towards their triangle and that farming area for the Alchemist. While Radiant have a couple of good ones here, watching rune spots, watching little ramps, transitional spots from lane to lane. Lil. Oh, the time walk. Is Lil escaping? It looks like he has just about got away from the grasps of Viking.
Let's just wait for another Roche. No need to rush anything. Cheese, Aegis, Refresher, and Aghanim Scepter will be there. He will respawn in 40 seconds.
Here comes HellRaisers, though. They know they need to contest this or try and steal it. Monkey King sees the Void. Time dilation into the Boundless Strike. The Roar is there. In on top of Shad, they go with the Abyssal Blades flowing through. They've killed off the Void. Streak gone by like immediately. The RP catches one. Kickers on top of Celery now with the Wukong's command. It's a big golden circle with a lot of monkeys, but they don't get the stuns they need. Viking retreat. Now look to turn with Shad. Deafening Blast there. Stolen by Lil and turned onto the Void. What's he stolen? He's got time dilation, but not for long. Aramis shuts it down with a Laguna Blade, and the chase is on. Toby finding Nyx. Monkey King with no BKB, holding Satanic for now. But Funnick doesn't have Roar. They don't have the backup they need to save the Monkey. And Shaddy wants the Chrono. Onto Nyx with a Cataclysm coming. They kill off the Monkey King. Buyback available. And a good stolen Chrono from Lil. But do they have the damage? Where's Kasani? Alchemist can't fight into Chrono.
They have 4 melee heroes. They can't deal damage inside of Chronosphere, even if it's stolen. Now they need to rush back into the Roche pit and secure their Aegis for Faceless Void. He still has that Chrono. He used Refresher. There'll be another one.
It's perfect as well. Shad BKBs to make this all work out for them. They kill off Nyx and Monkey die back. They'll come with the Magnus again with a buyback for him as Alchemist trying to battle in with the 4 heroes of Vikings surrounding him, though. Kasani's got no option but to run and hide. Toby sprinting forward with Shad. The bashes are landing. The Roar is defensive, holding the Bloodseeker back, but Aramis. The big zaps from these Laguna Blades, forcing the buyback from Alchemist and Viking. They are hunting into the base. Rupture onto Funnick. This could be it. Game over, it looks like, as Viking with 5 still standing clear up yet another HR hero. They found the Magnus in the back. Look towards mid lane. Aramis and Toby are giving chase. Spied Legs and Skewers getting back as Shad in the base once more. Lil's Rubik trying to glimmer away. Funnick, Kasani thinking about how they get in. But Viking, with those unkillable heroes, they lose one guy who comes straight back into battle immediately.
Yeah, now they're going to take the Roche. That was such a big play, giving him the Refresher shard, and he uses it, gets a good Chrono. They secure a kill on Monkey King, who already used the buyback. And I think, Gary, this is a game. They had a good plan on HellRaisers where they threw everything they had on Faceless Void, but you know he's going to have a buyback.
And when he buys back, coming in with Refresher Shard Chronos, it's going to be a rough one for you HellRaisers. 4th Roshan.
Gift of eternity.
Where did that Aghanims go? Who's got the Ags?
Ah, you give it to
Void
Faceless
wants
Void.
it.
Yeah.
Now with a Time Walk Bash. Another Refresher Shard. So they'll have double Chrono in about 65 seconds. A single one in 40 if they want to use it that way. Cataclysm with that maxed out Exort from Invoker. Finally being showed off is what we've been waiting 54 minutes for. The full team fight execution from Viking proving too much for HellRaisers to stand up against.
There's so much disarm. AoE, Deafening Blast now in Invoker, Heaven's Halberd. It's very tough for these, you know, melee heroes. They have 4 melee heroes. Lil landed a sick Stolen Chronosphere, but there's no follow-up. They don't have damage. Like, unless he catches them on the very edge, which is extremely hard.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Now even Toby has an Aghanims. Boots of Travel on Invoker. At the drop of a hat, can rejoin the rest of his team. Difficult days ahead, though. HellRaisers thinking about oh dear, oh dearie me. I think he forgot to press his blink button. They were trying to telekinesis into blink RP, skewer back into the base, into a roar, into whatever else they've got. But you fail one link of that chain, one domino doesn't topple, the whole chain reaction comes crumbling down.
I hope our observer didn't catch that one.
I think he did. So now you don't have blink RP for 100 seconds. Bloodthorn.
Just pretend you have it. Like, act like you do.
Just blink into the middle of them all and see what their reaction is. Bloodthorn Alchemist skipping out on the Silver Edge, which he had queued for a while. Viking just playing this poke and prod game. They can take down this melee Rax eventually, slowly but surely.
Dire's middle barracks.
RP still 60 seconds down. Man, Aramis is going ham. He's the one who's
hello.
the Chrono.
In we come with a Cataclysm Chrono. The kisses from the Snapfire, landing beautifully onto the heads of HellRaisers, and 2 heroes dead without buyback, as Shad's Faceless Void still has the Aegis. He's top BKB, that's for sure, but he'll give chase on the Alchemist, and the Rubik's in trouble. One bash is all Shad needed, but he won't get any. Instead, focusing on the structures and the objectives, as Viking look to close out Game 2 here and tie things up.
Dire's top barracks.
He still has Aegis Refresher. They also have Cheese. Oh, look at the attack speed on this guy.
Dire's middle
He's gone in, Lil. He's absolutely demolished. Unstoppable Faceless Void, 18-2-9. A beautiful game from Shad. All he needed to do was buy a BKB. They'll try and blow up the Alchemist with a couple of Laguna Blades. They take him out before the throne falls.